Bienvenidos, welcome. I'm Nido Foodie, and today trail beans and gunpowder biscuits. Two things at once.
Tom, two things at once!
So I have my number 8 Grizwold Tite-Top here, heating up on the fire. I decided to do this basically on a campfire simulation. I don't like to bend over, kneel down a lot, so elevate your campfire, makes it easier to cook on. So I have 4 ounces of salt pork, and if you don't happen to have salt pork, 3 or 4 strips of bacon would do it. Gonna get that browned up. Last week or so we've gotten about 2 feet of snow. Kind of put a damper on things. And this is the first day we've had in a while above 25 degrees. At least with snow you can get a tractor and move it. Deal with it versus flooding like they've had down in Tennessee. Tractor doesn't do much good against a rising river in your backyard. This is a great recipe to alter with whatever you may have. You could just make this with bacon. If you don't have any beef, if you have the bacon, beans, some beef broth. Want to brown that up, very similar to bacon. So with that, we're going to pull that out. Basically when it crisp up, looks a lot like bacon. You probably could leave it in there, but it burns when you're searing the beef. I'm going to sear the beef. I have a 1 pound beef sirloin, 1 pound beef round sirloin. I'm going to sear that in one piece and then dice it up later. Just make it go a little quicker. So give that a couple more moments there. Get it sear on the other side. Okay, we got a pretty good sear going on that, so we'll pull that off. So I have 1 pound of pinto beans that I've washed and then soaked for 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours. Then I'm going to add 4 cups of beef broth. And we'll cover that. So we're going to let these simmer for about 45 minutes. Then we'll come back, add the onions, add in the diced up meat, and the rest of the seasonings. Just about through the, about 20 minutes through the 45 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit more broth to this. And with this you could add water, coffee. Just don't want it to boil dry. A little bit of water, weak broth. And we'll let it finish out. About 20 minutes left. So they're ready to build. So I got 1 cup yellow onion. We'll add back the salt pork. Add back the beef, I've diced it. So we'll add that all back in there, juices and all. And looks like I'm going to need to add some more broth, coffee, or water. So 1 teaspoon of cumin. 4 teaspoon chili powder. One teaspoon salt. 2 bay leaves. And this is 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. But if you don't like it that spicy, you can take it back to a half. And 1 can of tomato paste. And let that come back up to a simmer and let it go 35-40 minutes more. Make sure not to let it go dry. So I'm going to grab a little bit of water and add to that, and we'll go from there. So let's get after the gunpowder biscuits. So I have 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of flour, all-purpose, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 6 teaspoons baking powder, hope that was 6. I'm not even sure where I got this recipe. I have so many recipes just written on pieces of paper inside my other cookbooks. I did try to find out why they called these gunpowder biscuits, and they just thought it was a reference to the baking powder. So now, 3 tablespoons of bacon grease. And this is unfiltered, so basically the biscuits will have bacon bits in them. Guess I didn't need that flour. And it calls for 1 cup of milk, but you could also use water. I've never done that. Maybe one of these days I'll try it. But so once that all gets incorporated, the grease with flour, nice thing about this weather, don't have to worry about things getting warm. Next I have to worry about things freezing up on me. So also I have my Dutch oven greased with bacon grease. So there they are. Dutch oven, my 10-inch shallow. I'm going to put 8 coals on the bottom, 16, 17 on the top, looking for 400 degrees, 20, 25 minutes, maybe even 30 depending on the coals. So we'll be back in a minute and we'll get these going. So we're looking for 8 on the bottom. $16, $17 or so on the top. And I have some in reserve, so in case some of them are dead or not hot enough, I can swap them out. So we're getting 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes. If you're looking, you're not cooking, so just walk away, trust your nose. And sometimes with biscuits or rolls, you see the puff out the side, you know you're getting close. So I'll start the timer and we'll be right back.
Now back to two things at once.
Well, we're getting pretty close. Beans are pretty much done, just waiting on the biscuits. Well, it's been 20 minutes. Looks like they still have a little ways yet to go. A little bit blonde on the top. So, give them 5-10 more minutes. I'll check them here, probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to add a couple more coals up on the top. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, those whiffs coming out from underneath the lid. Pretty much is a good indicator they're done. So let's take a look. Let's take a look there. Well, the beans are done, the biscuits are done. So it's beans with beef with a little bit of salt pork. Beans that Mr. Nightlinger would be proud of. So there's the top of the biscuit. Let's check the curtains and the carpet. So pretty good. And a little green on top. And there you go. Trail beans and gunpowder biscuits. Two things at once. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.